This is a really good career to get into, and it's really easy because there's a lot of jobs for this. And Mr. Swords actually has a job board where you can call them and they'll give you jobs for like after school and everything. The best project I've done is I made a ring for my mom for Mother's Day, and it had all of our birthstones, like my sister's birthstones on it. Mr. Swords really helped me with it a lot. I used a gauge to measure my ring size, and then I measured like what drill bit I would need for that, and then I drilled the hole out and cut the ring off, and then I grinded it on that machine back there. I've learned a lot about the machines and the different types of machines, and it's helped me with math. The CNC machine is a machine that cuts parts for you. You just put the code into it and it programs the machine to do that cut.
Well, it's the building and, getting into it, it's hands-on. You learn everything you can right there, right in front of you. How to build, the basics, rough carpentry, building the walls, how to do the doors, the windows. Yeah, we built actually many projects. We've done a wall, we've done a little toolbox, we've done a little module, little shed. The project we're working on right now is the garage outside. It's the best project I like. Well, in the future, even if you don't go into this kind of stuff, it's good to be at home. If something broke in the backyard, in the house, be able to fix it yourself. Well, it's everything right there. You don't have to just be taught. You do it yourself. They teach you how to do it, but you do it yourself. They don't do it for you. So, in the future, you're going to do it yourself. There's not going to be always somebody right there.
It really, in my opinion, it really helps to prepare you for the future careers, because a lot of careers in the future are going to be computer oriented. I mean, I'm pretty sure that sometime in the future, everyone is going to have to know basic computer programming. And I believe that this class really helps to get you there. We program a video game, and it could be whatever coding program that you want to do. It can be through it can be any design that you want it to be, any story. Like if you want it to be 3D or 2D, doesn't really matter. It can be whatever game you want to make. And something else that we are going to be starting this year, it's brand new, we've never done it before, it's called augmented reality. And through augmented reality, it's like a 2D surface that when programmed with the right technology, it can create 3D images.
With what we teach here, you could do many things in the industry. Just the knowledge of how to do it will help you if you ever had an accident with your car. So we teach them how to remove dents, how to apply body filler correctly, how to weld. We teach them how to apply primers and paints.
Ever since I was younger, I would always be out in the garage helping my dad work on cars, so I just kind of wanted to work on cars when I got older.
The best part of being in an electronics class is that you learn something new every day, and if you want to go into this field, it's a great chance to have a little refresher before you go into college. I think the best project is when we had to design a robot that moves fast to carry 3 bricks outside, and it was pretty hard because it was trial and error. I have learned a lot. For example, like voltage and amps and electricity running through circuit boards and all the different possibilities that you can have with the circuit boards and what they can be used in life. It enriches us because there's things that we learn in this class is what we're going to learn in college, and the professor might look at you and say, oh, this kid knows what he's doing, and it's because of this class.
We run a restaurant, we have kiosk areas, so there's a lot of social interaction. There's a lot of discipline with, measurements and counting procedures and all those things. So it gives them the basic skills that they need to be successful out in the real world.
If you don't know how to cook, it definitely teaches you the basics of cooking. If you want to have fun, learn how to make different foods. If you want to go in that career field, you can learn a lot from this class.
Whether it's culinary or not, you can apply what they learned and take it to whatever avenue that they want to go do.
The best part would be the environment is really friendly and everything's really hands-on, so we get to go in depth on the ENT protocol. Hands-on, we use a variety of equipment, like we get to use an AED, we get to use CompuTubes, we get to use all different types of oxygen takes and everything in general in the medical. With the smaller class, I would say we would get more time with our teacher. Project-wise, I would say it would be like opening someone's airway manually. It's basically you take a tube and you put it down their throat, and then you inflate a balloon in their throat, which is pretty crazy. It sounds wild, but it works and it saves their lives, basically.
Marketing is something that's used in like a lot of businesses and a lot of like jobs. So to have this class is actually an advantage because it helps you better understand the things like the basics of marketing to better help you and your business during marketing.
This is the project that my class won. We said better marketing equals better business, which basically marketing, if you give the consumer what they want, they're obviously going to be more interested, and that's just like, that's the goal of marketing, basically to persuade or like win over the consumers, and that's what we did.
Marketing's in a lot of jobs, like a lot of places, so if I ever wanted to open a business of my own or even be a part of like a business, I would need to know the basics of marketing to, you know, help my business out, which if I do all of that, that makes money. I don't know about CPC because like our school, you know, a lot of upperclassmen would talk about it, but then we had the tour here, and you know, you go from room to room, and this class just caught my eye a little more. It was like love at first sight, you know, you just wanted to do it, so I went through with it and did it.
My name is Chinta and I go to Sterling Heights High School. I think being part of this class, you get to learn a lot about computers, which I didn't even know. So there's a lot of components in the computers where nobody really uses, but then those who actually, you know, start to learn these things kind of get used to it and kind of get to know the inside of how the computer works. I think so far what we've done is build the computers, and so we had to put like RAM sticks and like the motherboard, and I thought that was pretty cool because now I can go home and if I, you know, buy the components, I can build the computer myself. So I thought that was pretty amazing to learn. But I like to challenge myself, and then I like to figure it out, like, oh, so this is what's supposed to be and this is how it's supposed to be. So I really like that challenging feeling.
I want to actually go into graphic design in the future, so I want to like make advertisements and work for management and that kind of thing, like make billboards you'd see on the highway. Oh, on the ceiling, when you become a second year in this class, you get to make your own little ceiling tile. I've learned how to use Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop to make text, and how to like draw cars how you would see in a commercial, like with the realistic like reflections. It's used to like trace text, and it's normally used in like all the like magazines you would see. I found out about CPC because I knew a lot of people who came here, and then I came to an open house, and when I walked into this room I was like, this is where I was gonna be.
Kind of wanted to improve things, so I feel like CAD kind of gives me more an opportunity to take ideas that are already there and work with them.
You work with all the computer programs and you just learn about them, and you can apply them in the future if you decide to go in the field. We made like these cars and we put eggs in them and we put them down this track, and we had to make the cars so that the egg wouldn't crack when it went off the cliff.
The number one thing that I would want students to take away from this class is the ability to work in teams so that they know that they're never going to be working alone in this world. The students will work in pairs, teams of as many as 5 or 6. We have some national and state level competitions where they're involving teamwork.
We did the Real World Design Challenge, and I was voted to be the team leader both times, and I don't know, it gave me more confidence in myself.
We are more hands-on and career-focused rather than focusing on core subjects. I think the students here have a little bit more fun with the classes that we teach, and most of them want to be here.
I would definitely recommend this class to other people because once you get out of this class, you can basically get a job in the field immediately.